Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome on in. I hope you choose to stick around. In this video, I will be giving you guys my horror hot takes. Now, like I've said plenty of times before, my favorite genre of movie is horror movies, so I figured why not give my horror hot takes. Now, before I get into it, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. It helps your girl greatly. Now let's go. Mention in the intro of this video, I'm going to be explaining my hot takes. I might go into depth, I might not. Like, some of the hot takes, do it as you will, take it as you will. Some are self-explanatory, but some I'll go a little into detail with and why I feel this way. So let's go. First horror hot take: Michael Myers is the best slasher out of all the slashers and all the renditions of the slashers. Michael Myers is my top #1 favorite. He is the best slasher. Argue with your mammy. Next one is that the torture movies, I call them torture. Though that genre, that subgenre of horror movies is the worst. Now, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy some of the movies with that subgenre, such as Hostel and Saw. I do enjoy those movies. Those movies don't bother me, but they are my least favorite out of all the subgenres of horror movie. The torture ones are my least favorite. Next hot take: the remake of Friday the 13th is better than the original. I'm sorry, Miss Pamela Voorhees just does not do it for me. She just doesn't. And the remake of Halloween, the remake of Friday the 13th, that Jason in the 2009 version is way scarier than any other Jason. I'm sorry, but that Jason terrified me. So the remake of Friday the 13th is better than the original. I believe that Scream is the most innovative horror movie out of all the popular horror movies. Out of all the horror movies that, even if you're not a horror fan, that you still know of just because of popular culture and how popular these movies are, I think Scream is one of the most innovative ones. Final Girls can literally make or break a movie. The Strangers was one of the scariest movies I have ever seen. Like, something about just a home invasion type of movie just really does it for me. It just does. Sinister was not scary. I remember my first time watching Sinister. I was in my bedroom alone, lying in bed at night, lights are all off. It was just me and the TV watching Sinister, and I posted it on my Snapchat story, and so many people were like, oh my God, it's so scary, oh my God, you're gonna... Y'all, it was not scary at all. Not a bad movie, just wasn't as scary as I thought it was gonna be, because so many people told me how scary it was, and I'm gonna have nightmares, I'm gonna be scared because I'm in the dark alone. It really wasn't that scary. Sinister, it was okay. I enjoyed Halloween Kills. Evil dies tonight.
Michael Myers will be executed tonight. Evil dies tonight.
I enjoyed Halloween Kills. It did not bother me. The Seed of Chucky is not that bad of a movie. It's pretty entertaining. It's watchable. Is it his best movie in the franchise? Absolutely not. But I enjoy Seed of Chucky. It doesn't bother me. I think it's pretty enjoyable. On that same streak of bad movies in the franchise, Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, was also enjoyable for me. I don't think that's a bad movie. I enjoy watching it. It Follows was boring. Literally, it was a pain for me to get through the whole movie. The concept, very smart. Very cool concept. I enjoyed that. But the movie itself was pretty boring. Scream 3 is not the worst movie in the franchise. I'm sorry. It's not my favorite, but it's not the worst. The way people rag on Scream 3, like, it's just... Now, don't get me wrong. It has its flaws. Every movie does. But it's not the worst in the franchise. To me, that's Scream 4. Now, in that same breath, when it comes to horror franchises, I think Scream is one of the best horror franchises there is. Those movies are pretty consistent. Like, even their quote-unquote bad movies are still better, miles better than a lot of other franchises' bad movies. Like, what was that one? Halloween Resurrection with Busta Rhymes and Tyra Banks? Bottom of the barrel. So even Scream's bad movies are way better than other franchises' bad movies. So even though Scream 4 isn't my cup of tea per se, the franchise as a whole is still one of the most consistent and one of the best horror franchises there is. I cannot stand Rob Zombie movies. The only Rob Zombie movie I really like is House of a Thousand Corpses. That's the only Rob Zombie movie I can really watch. Specifically, his Halloween remake, I'm sorry, but the grimy and dirtiness of Rob Zombie movies just does not do it for me. Now, with that being said, I will admit, his version of Michael Myers is the scariest version of Michael Myers. Like, that Michael Myers is terrifying. I wouldn't want to cross paths with Michael Myers at all, but especially not that one. So I will say, Rob Zombie's Michael Myers is horribly terrifying. But the movie itself, I'm not a huge fan of Rob Zombie movies. So, like I said, the only movie of his that because I've seen a couple of his movies. I've seen his I've seen his Halloween remakes. I've seen The Devil's Rejects. I've seen quite a few of his movies, and none of them do it for me. The only one I really can rewatch is A House of a Thousand Corpses. That's the only one I really care about. And lastly, this one might get me a little flack, but The Shining was boring. Like, maybe for the time when it came out, it was a bit much, kind of like The Exorcist, but even I watched The Exorcist and I enjoyed The Exorcist. I thought The Exorcist was amazing. I think it's perfect for today's time and perfect back then. So The Exorcist is top tier. I love it. But The Shining, it wasn't a bad movie, don't get me wrong. It wasn't a horrible movie. But you know how people hype up like the movies to kind of, like, these movies are very essential to the genre, I will give it that. So people kind of hype them up, kind of like, oh, this movie is so scary, it's so cool, it's so innovative. And when I watched it, I was just disappointed because I had so many expectations for it and it really did not live up to those expectations. So I was just like, So The Shining, it's not a bad movie. It's just kind of boring. It wasn't what I expected it to be. So, yeah. Alright, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this quick little video of me giving you some of my horror hot takes. Leave down below in the comments some of your horror hot takes, and I'll tell you if I agree or disagree with them. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.